I'll be brave, honey. It's okay. I'm setting a good example for the little ankle biters. Look at this, eh? I'm down for the diabetes test. Come on, honey. It's my daughter Erin, everybody. Isn't she gorgeous? Now, I'm not afraid. I must tell you that straight from the outset, that I'm not at all perturbed about this. Okay?
Oh, dear. Are you going to snatch your finger away?
No, not at all. Nothing to fear but fear itself, good folks. And this is very critical, this diabetes stuff. I mean, surely to goodness you wouldn't want to walk around with low blood sugar levels without knowing it, would you? Look at me, sitting here, not a problem in the world.
How are you going there?
Absolutely no problems at all,
Oh,
madam.
good. That's excellent. Well, I'm going to take your blood in a minute.
You go what?
I'm going to take your blood sample in a minute. Oh. Just got to wait for the machine to tell me to put the blood on there. I'm afraid it's all done.
What's all done?
There you go. Look at that.
Oh.
Do you want to cover it up?
Not a problem, good folks, Only a little blood sample.
Oh! I think I frightened him.
Wake up, Daddy. Wake up, Daddy. Wake up, Daddy. Wake up, Daddy.
It was only the blood, Greg. That's why he fainted.
Chris Tice?
It's only the blood.
Am I dreaming? But could it be Chris Tice?
It is.
Chris, I've just been through a fairly excruciating experience from my point of view. Now, I must admit, it wasn't very painful. Why did I do it? What was important?
The important thing was, Greg, that you went through the test and you had flying colours. You only fainted from the sight of the blood.
It is critical for blokes of my age or women of my age or really, run through the whole gamut of age groups to have these sort of tests, isn't it?
It is. Especially people that are over 40, overweight, or have a relative with diabetes, and especially people from our non-English speaking backgrounds.
Well, why do you, because you've been a terrific, Chrissy, supporter of soccer over the years. Now, why is that?
Because soccer attracts the people that we need to get our message through to, which is what you're doing for us today, Greg. We need you to go out and let everyone know that it doesn't hurt to have a blood test, but first of all, they need to undertake a healthy diet and exercise.
Or the option is going out to the Diabetes Australia Healthy Diet Caravan, getting a prick in your finger.
Yep, it's not really the option, but best to have a healthy lifestyle first. But if you're at all worried, or you have any of those factors, that is, you've got a relative with diabetes, you're from a non-English speaking background, you're overweight or you're over 40, or if you're a mum that's had a big baby, then you should come along to one of our venues and have a test, yes.
So there you go, good folks at home. Chris Tice, a woman of the people. Diabetes Australia, we're getting some salad happening down here. Have a look at this, a fruit salad, terrific. Chris Tice, woman of the people, Diabetes Australia, healthy diet, try it, terrific job. That's me, Blakey, I'm not even bleeding anymore, I'm off home. Cheers for now. So there you go, the last segment of the last soccer show of the year. We will bid you adieu very, very soon, but lots to talk about still. I've got a message here too from the Brisbane Tropos for women over 30 in Victoria who would like to play with the Brisbane Tropos whilst they're during the tournament, to ring Deborah Pomeroy. Get your crayons out, folks at home. 018 982 409. Ring Deborah on that number, 018 982 409. Let's head back out in the audience. Whilst it's topical, we're talking women's soccer and we're talking about the ITC program for the Victorian women. We've got Nikki Leach out there with Shocker.
Yes, I've got Nikki here with me, Greg, and Nikki, you're the boss of this wonderful little young girls here who play soccer. ITC, what does that stand for?
Okay, ITC is the Intensive Training Centre, and that's what it's all about, intensive training, big time stuff.
Well, Blakey used to wear that. It was intensive care when he was in it, but...
Oh, well, the way we work the players, I guess they feel like they belong in intensive care, but it's hardcore development for women's soccer. It's a big thing for us.
How are they going?
Very well. We've got 3 national players here.
Where are they?
Lee, Lou and Didge. Fond name.
Ooh, lovely.
And they're 3 of our national players, so our development program is bearing fruit already.
And you've got the best coach in Australia?
Oh, well, so according to Jeff Olver, he's the best coach in Australia, but I'm
Used to
I'm
be the
not sure
best
about
goalkeeper
that.
once,
Guess we better ask
apparently,
the girls.
Okay, Nikki, good luck and good luck, girls. And Blakey, still lots happening in Victorian State League soccer.
Mate, it's not over till it's over, and of course we've got the State League Champions Cup going on, and don't forget, Friday the 20th at the Grand Hyatt Hotel. Oh my God, all sorts of wildlife crawling through the audience. The Grand Hyatt Hotel is where I'll be on the 20th of October for the gold medal night. We're going to talk to some of the Premier League boys about what may transpire on that glittering night of nights in 1995. But Voice of Authority, State League Champions Cup, you've got some results of matches at the weekend. Regale us, if you will, sir.
Weekend's matches in the State League Champions Cup. The first one here, South Dandenong 1, Thomastown Devils 0. A great result there for South Dandenong. Billy Wright, the goal scorer. That was after extra time. South Springvale 0, Laylaw United 5. And here's a classic, Geelong 4, Bentley Green 7. An old European Cup score, that, if you're that old. Shocker, you'd remember that.
Certainly
Essendon
do.
Brunswick Royals 1, Melbourne City 0, Westvale 2, Cranbourne 1, Waverley City 0, Monbulk 1, Springvale White Eagles 3, Frankston 2, and finally Clarinda 1, Moorabbin City 3. So congratulations to all those winning teams in the State League Champions Cup.
Henry, Chairman of the Federation, you'll be down there doing official duties at the, where is it again? The Grand Hyatt Hotel on the 20th of October, and it's an exciting night, isn't it? Oh,
It
paparazzi hanging out there and all sorts of stuff happening.
Well, premiers, everyone will be there.
It is a very exciting evening.
It is an exciting evening. It's at the Grand Hyatt for the first time. We used to hold it
mentioned
at
that,
the
didn't we?
Southern
Grand
Cross.
Hyatt.
Well, we will.
Give them if you're going to flog it in public, Henry.
Absolutely. You know, it's very, very hard sometimes when you're chairman of a federation and paying for a show like this to put up with compares like this. But we do that every now and again, and he's done a wonderful job for us during the year. So thank you for the job. But the Hyatt is the place that we'll be holding the awards at this year, and we urge you all to be there. Some of these players out here might like to give us some indications as to who they think might be winning the award.
We've got last year's co-medal winner, the first time in history, of course, when the medal was shared, Nick Van Engelen. Nick, who's a good thing, perhaps, for the gold medal in 1995?
I heard Robbie Bryant's had a good year, the Albion goalkeeper.
The Albion goalkeeper, yeah. Big return to form for Robbie this year. Couple of names. George Sfigos has been mentioned, as has Ajim Sherifovsky. Nick, you played with the champions this year. Anybody out at Altona Magic who rates a good chance?
I definitely think Chris Mshovsky's a chance, but my main pick would be Tom Markowski over here.
Woohoo!
Tom?
Wouldn't that be...
There'll be another Stewart inquiry, by the way, Blakey, but that'll tell you. Tom Markowski?
I think that Dale White usually polls well. He'll do well. Agim Sherifovsky will be my tip probably on the outsider. It's not. He's an exciting player. It'll be some player with flair. Probably Agim might win it.
Yeah.
And the coach of coaches, the Gold Man of the Year, Ian Dobson.
Well, Dubbo knows the territory, of course. He is the state coach. Who would you rate as the best, say, three chances, Ian?
I'd say the first three people I'd look at would be Ajim Sherifovsky. And it's very difficult for the players at Port because they've had such a successful year, and they'll pull from each other. They'll pull votes from each other. That'll make it very difficult. So you'll find it'll be a player who actually was played for a team who hasn't had quite a lot of success at a club level, but as an individual, he'll stand out. So Ajim would be a good shout. Dale White possibly, and last but not least, I think down at Dean Fack. Down at Port
Melbourne. What about A.D. Pender? I mean, he's had a couple of great years. He was terrific with Preston last year. They won it all. This time around, he's been just as good, but the side has struggled. He may get the standout votes there.
Yeah, Adrian's actually missed too many games through injury, unfortunately for him this year, and I think that's where he'll miss out. You've got to be consistently playing throughout the year to get noticed by the referees. Yes, certainly he's a quality player, but I think he's missed too many games.
All right, so the...
Blakey?
Hello.
We've got these young junior players here. They've been here all night. Can we just let them mention their names because they've done really well in the 15s and 16s championships in Sydney? Just give us your names.
Martin.
You got a last name?
Yeah. John. Michael Pasivsky. Frank Pisano. Cameron Pena.
We're very proud of you boys and your coach, Patrick Barrera, and good luck next season.
Yeah, fantastic effort by the young blokes. And Henry, you'd be very proud of them being the chairman of the federation. We've got a few things. I want to do a bit of probing of you before you leave us, if we may do that.
Like all the chairmen of federations, you know, we're always magnanimous when we win. And yes, we are very proud of the boys. And I think the VIS will take up quite a few of these fellows.
One of the hot issues, though, currently in Victorian soccer, Henry, is summer soccer. The possibilities of the Premier League playing from January through to June, and then the following season you know, lining up with the National League season, and I believe the clubs voted on that issue a couple of weeks ago.
Well, the Premier League clubs had a separate meeting in which they discussed those possibilities. It was a discussion, and the discussion paper was going back to the Premier League itself before it comes up to the board. And when it does come before the board, we'll discuss those issues. We must remember that we've got to dovetail a lot of things to fit in with the Australian Soccer Federation as well, with the new season starting. After all the kerfuffle that's gone on over this period of time, over the last 8 months, we've got to make sure that all soccer in the whole of Australia is channelled through the right areas. And we here in Victoria have our role to play as well. So summer soccer is a discussion point. Whether it actually is going to take off at that time this year, that'll be something for the board to decide.
And when will the board actually be meeting on this particular topic? Because I know there's a lot of players and clubs that are really waiting on this particular issue.
I'm sure they are. The next board meeting's on the 17th of October. If it is ready to be presented for the board to discuss, then we'll be discussing it then. If not, we'll be discussing it at the next available board meeting after that. I mean, the main premise of the Summer League when it was first discussed, and we were talking about a Summer Cup as well, was primarily to ensure that any of the teams dropping out of the National League, and we have by our own constitution a mandate to take them back, so that was to prevent any sides being out of the game for a period of 8 months, and that was the hiatus that existed within the soccer structure within Australia. So that was the main reason for this thing coming to the fore in the initial stages. Now it's developed into something a little bit different, and we will have to evaluate it on all its merits.
You keep looking at me, Paul. All right, I'll think of a question. The Soccer Show, Henry. What's the future for us next year? It's been a terrific venture. I've got to tell you, good folks, it's been a magnificent venture to be involved in. Young Paulie and I have bonded in a very manly 1995 sort of way. But, you know, what's the situation now with the Soccer Show? We've made some inroads.
Well, Blakey, I could probably relax when I talk about this one. It's been a wonderful effort from a standing start. It's something that we took on to see if we can add some popularity and get another outlet into the public. From its beginning, the beginning was a little bit tardy, I'd have to say, when we first started out, but it's developed into a terrific show, and tonight's a wonderful result as we can see. But yes, look, as far as I'm concerned, next year is a year that we will continue on with what we've started. I don't like starting things and not finishing them. That's not to say that we'll finish at the end of next year either, but we'll look at all possibilities, and yes, if I have my way, we will continue on the Soccer Show.
Good news for you, Blakey, isn't it, son? Yeah, keep you in the girls for another 6 months.
Oh, I had a bit of a worry. I thought my ex-missus had turned up. Anyway, all right, Mickey, I'm getting on with it. Whilst I'm at it, thanks, Henry, for coming in. Thank you to the studio audience. Thank you to all the people involved in soccer. I'll get over it, Mickey. Just get over it for a minute. Thanks to Mickey, Sebastian, Adrian, Mike, Frank, Ezio, Belinda, Robert, Maria, all the people involved with the running of the show. Shocker Miles, you've been almost an asset. Paulie Williams, you're almost a personality. From me, the Blakester, that's all there is for 95. I'll see you next year. Keep on soccer, and I don't know what I'm talking about. See you later. For that.
Well done, Blakey. Well done, boys. Thanks, well done, chum. Well done,
thanks,
boys.
Henry.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate.
Well done.
Well done.
Well done, boys. Shit, terrific stuff.
Don't go away. I'm going to sing a couple of songs for you for the next half hour.
Well done, guys.
All right.
Longest 9 minutes of my life.